Hey ladies, it's your girl Kia from lczwife.com. I just got an email from a young lady telling me about a video that I didn't see from a lczwife. And I didn't, she said, did you see the video? She needs your prayers or what have you. And I didn't see it. And I went to go look at it, and I said I have to do a video right now. I prayed about the things that I'm about to say. I had done a video earlier about what I'm about to disclose, and I took it off because God told me that it wasn't time yet to share that information. But as I was getting ready to do this video, he let me know that it was time. A year before, 2 years ago, in this very bathroom, I was feeling the stresses of life. 4 boys. My husband had a second job. He was hardly home. I didn't know what to do with my life. I was a stay-at-home mother. I was in the house all the time. I don't drive yet, and I know you're saying why and everything. We'll get into that another time because that's not important. And my sons were driving me batty. I was part of a G12 group, which is like a Bible study. The women have theirs and the men have theirs at our church. And I was part of one, and it was so awesome. And then I said I wouldn't be able to come as much because my husband was working a second job. One of my best friends, I lost contact with her. Some things just happened and we weren't talking. I was talking to Fatima, but I think it wasn't as much because it was something was going on. I didn't talk to her as much at that time. And so basically I had no real fellowship with anybody. I didn't know who I was. The people from the G12 just cut me off. They didn't call me to see how I was doing or anything, or say, hey, we'll pick you up. So I was going through a very stressful point in my life. So one day I just got so upset and so frustrated with life. And just like, I'm tired. I was just tired. It was, like how you just feel like you can't go on any longer. I called my mom up and I told my mom that I love her. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, I just wanted to call and tell you I love you so much. I hung up the phone. I locked the bathroom doors and I had a knife. And I tried to cut my wrist. My husband came home, and he was like, no, there's no way I'm going to let you do that. And I praise God that he didn't, obviously. And that was nothing but the devil coming after me because he knew what was to come. When I think about that day, I'm like, what were you thinking? Like, what? Where was your mindset? But the thing was, I felt like I was so alone. And I emphasize on alone because that's what the enemy wants you to think. He wants you to think that you're alone. He wants you to think you're a bad mother, and he wants you to think, well, this one has that and that one has that. And, you have to, I don't want to say, I do get the word, don't get me wrong, I do get good word. But the thing is also, because I was angry at my church. I went to my church. I was furious at that time because I felt like me and my husband we volunteered. We did so much at that church. And we lost one of our cars. We didn't go to church for a month. Not one person called and said, do you need a ride? Is everything okay? Nothing. It was like we fell off the edge of the earth and nobody cared. And that hurt because when we lived in Delaware and we were thinking about moving either back here, or we could have moved to Philly or closer to Maryland, we moved back here to be closer to our church and to our friends, and it just seemed like, why? Why? Because nobody cared. Nobody called us. Nobody wanted to come over. It was like we did something. We would hear them, oh, we had a party. People weren't inviting us to stuff. And I'm like, what did we do wrong? So wrong that we just were cut off. And it got to a point for me and my husband to say, so what? It got to a point where he and I became so close and together and so focused on the daily relationship with God that it didn't matter. And it was hard because we used to throw parties all the time. We used to have fellowships at the house all the time. Like every weekend, every Sunday after church, we would have something at the house. My husband had some of the young men that went to our church, they were living with him basically rent free. I used to take money, like extra money. I used to get the food stamps. People wouldn't have money. I would take them to get food. I would, we did a lot of stuff. We blessed people with coats one time. They didn't have coats. We blessed some of our friends with somewhere to live. They were had a family and, didn't have somewhere to go. I mean, we blessed people. And we felt so wrong because it was like when it was our turn to need someone, there was no one around. And that's when we really started realizing that you cannot put. That's when the word becomes so real to you. That's when we realize you cannot put your trust in man. You cannot, because you will get disappointed every time, ladies and gentlemen. You will get disappointed every time. And I say that because sometimes people don't do it purposely. Because I had to realize everyone is different. Everybody is not going to be like you. Everybody is not going to function the way that you feel like they should function. And when you grab hold of that, you don't have to worry about disappointments hurting you so bad. You don't have to worry about feeling like, oh my gosh, this person let me down. They said this, they said that. That's why I'm joyful, because I have that relationship with God. My relationship with God is as follows. I wake up and I talk to God like I'm talking to you. I don't do nothing fancy or anything like that. Because he already knows the issues of my heart. He already knows them. So I keep it very, very real, very basic, just like I am in this video. Okay, I'm going to finish in the next video, part 2, because it's 8 minutes and I know I'm not going to round it up because it's like I told you guys, I have some more things to share with you. All right, stay tuned for the next video.